What is your name, and when did you first find out you had cancer?
So my name's Patricia Derrick. I go by Trish. And I received the news on February 27th, 2015, that I had stage 3 melanoma cancer.
Hey, now we got problems, and I don't think that we can solve them. You made a really deep cut, and baby,
What do you remember of that day?
I was not surprised. It was a mole on my back, and when I went into Dr. Parker's office, she said to me, "So you have a mole that you want me to look at?" And I said yes, and they'd already put me in a gown opening in the back. And she said to me, "So whereabouts is it?" And before I could even lift my arm to point to where it was at, she had opened up the back of the gown and said, "Oh, that will be coming out right now." And then it was a week later that she called me and said that it was cancer and that I needed to meet with a oncologist surgeon. So I met with him, and then he removed lots more of the skin, and that's when I was then told that it was stage 3.
So then after the surgery, we went to see the oncologist doctor, and with the very optimistic view that we dodged the bullet, that the cancer hadn't spread, and thinking that that was basically the end, that we addressed the situation in time, that we really weren't expecting ongoing treatment or any other activity. And almost immediately from the time that we sat down with the oncologist, he said, "Well, let's talk about prognosis," and then proceeded to say that that with the level of cancer that Trish had, that the statistics showed that 40% of people in her condition would be alive in 5 years. So 60% would die. And then, so we discussed treatment, what our treatment options were, and then I asked the doctor, "Okay, well, so what time would you say that that maybe she's recovered and is in remission or cured?" And the answer is that with melanoma cancer, they won't tell you that you're cured or even that you're in remission. That melanoma spreads very quickly and spreads to all parts of your body. And so I said, "Well, what if you survive for 8 years, 10 years? Where does that place you?" And his response was that if you're still alive after 5 years, then that's great. If after 8 years, that's even better, and 10 years, better still. But he would not say anything about remission or beating it. But basically, it rained, and that it could come back anytime.
With this information, Trish knew she had to take the most difficult and effective option. interferon?
Since the cancer really was not making her sick, it was really the treatments. Not many of the people that go through that treatment actually finish it, and she finished it. She completed all 3 weeks, or all 3 rounds of the 4-week cycles.
Interferon was probably the most difficult experience of Trish's life. But there was an upside. Because of these treatments, one of her greatest dreams came true.
The phone rang. She said, "There's no caller ID on it. Do you want to answer it?" I said, "Yeah, I'll just answer the phone and just tell him to call me back." So I answer the phone, "Hello," and I hear this voice say, "Hi, do you know who this is?" And I said, "No." And the person said, "It's Donny Osmond." And I said, "No, it isn't." And he said, "You have a friend, Dan Call." And I said, "I have a really good friend, Dan Call." But I remember the nurse when it happened, when she was in the room with me, and I just voiced to her, I said, "It's Donny Osmond." And she started to cry, and she ran out of the room, and she told the other nurses, and she said, "You know, that just doesn't happen on our floor. You hear about celebrities doing kind and fun things for children all the time, but you don't hear about it for people our age."
When the cancer came back, there was a new, easier treatment with a 95% success rate. Things are starting to look up, and while it's hard to say if it'll stay that way, at least we have the support of our friends for whatever comes next.
I've let my story be known. My neighbors all know it. My church members all know that I have cancer. And I'm grateful that that's the route I have taken, because I truly do feel like I have a community praying for me. You know, the old saying that it takes a community to raise a child. I feel like it takes a community to go through cancer, where people can be sorrowful when you're sorry, but they can be happy with you when you're happy. Because that was one thing that was really fun. I announced to church that my scans 9 weeks ago were so good. And I had neighborhood people bring me balloons and bring me flowers, and just to be able to rejoice in, but they cried with me too when I found out that the cancer was back. But, I feel their prayers, I feel their love. And for me, I would really encourage other people to share their experiences so that they can have a unity and a support system that there's nothing like it. In our neighborhood, we have a lot of cancer. And, it's kind of not the club that anybody wants to be part of, but once you're part of that club, the love and the support you get is just remarkable. We've learned that time is valuable, and that we never know when things are going to end. And I could get hit and killed in a car accident tomorrow, but there's going to be no regrets over the time that people have spent, that people value their time with me more. That's always in the back of my mind. I don't know how much time I have.
Your mind in the sound. There's so much more.